Most believers think sin is obvious. Drugs, violence, adultery, big, loud, visible, wrong. The most dangerous sins are silent, invisible, comfortable. And that's exactly why they win. Pharisees prayed daily, memorized scripture, looked perfect. Jesus called them blind. Why? Because they ignored the sins that don't look like sins. The subtle ones. The ones hiding inside good behavior. 6 of them. Most believers commit them every day and feel completely fine. I'm about to show you exactly what they are. And by the end of this, you'll never examine your faith the same way again. Chapter 1. The sin of quiet pride. Most people think pride is arrogance. Loud, boastful, obvious, wrong. The most dangerous pride is silent. It sounds like this. I'm not like them. I already know this. I'm doing fine. That's it, no shouting. No ego display, just quiet superiority. Jesus didn't rebuke criminals the hardest. He rebuked the religious elite. Why? Because they thought they were already right. Psychologists call this the illusion of competence. You think you understand, so you stop questioning. Spiritually, that's death, because growth requires discomfort, and pride kills discomfort. But here's the problem, though. You can't fix pride if you don't detect it. So here's the tactic. Instead of asking, am I right? Ask, where could I be wrong? Every day. Elite performers do this constantly. Ray Dalio built an entire system around radical truth. Why? Because blind spots destroy you faster than mistakes. Same in faith. The moment you feel secure in your righteousness, that's the warning sign. Chapter 2. The sin of passive faith. Most believers think belief is enough. I believe in God. I go to church. I agree with the message. Wrong, that's passive faith. And passive faith changes nothing. James said it clearly. Faith without works is dead. Dead, not weak, not imperfect, dead. But here's what most people do. They consume sermons, podcasts, verses endlessly, but never act. This creates a dangerous loop. Consumption feels like progress, but it's not. It's spiritual entertainment. Psychologist Robert Bjork calls this desirable difficulty. Real learning feels hard. Application feels uncomfortable. If your faith feels easy, you're probably not applying it. But here's the problem, though. Action requires friction, so people avoid it. Here's the fix. After every piece of input, ask one question. What will I do differently today? Not tomorrow, today. Even one small action rewires behavior, because faith isn't built by agreement. It's built by execution. Chapter 3. The sin of hidden distraction. Most people think distraction is harmless. Scrolling, checking messages, thinking about random things. Normal, wrong. Distraction is a spiritual killer, because attention is worship. Whatever holds your attention holds your devotion. Cal Newport calls this attention residue. Every time you switch focus, part of your mind stays behind. Now imagine this during prayer. You're speaking, but thinking about 10 other things. That's not connection. That's noise. But it gets worse. Cheap dopamine rewires your brain. Fast content. Instant gratification. Your mind loses the ability to sit still. And without stillness, you can't hear anything deeper. But here's the problem, though. Most people try harder. More effort, more discipline, wrong approach. The issue isn't effort, it's environment. So here's the tactic. Create constraint. No phone during prayer. No multitasking during reflection. Even 5 minutes of pure focus beats an hour of distracted effort. Scarcity creates depth. Always. Chapter 4. The sin of selective obedience. Most believers obey partially. They follow what feels good, ignore what doesn't. That's selective obedience. And it's everywhere. Love others? Yes. Forgive enemies? Maybe later. Give generously? Depends. This is the hidden negotiation. You don't reject truth outright, you edit it. But truth doesn't work like that. You can't customize it. Jesus didn't say, follow the parts you like. But here's what your brain does. It avoids discomfort, automatically. Cognitive dissonance. When truth challenges your behavior, your mind tries to reduce tension. So you justify, delay, reinterpret. But here's the problem, though. Partial obedience feels like full obedience. And that's the trap. So here's the system. Identify one command you're avoiding. Just one. Then act on it immediately. No delay. Because delay is how disobedience hides. Elite performers don't negotiate with reality. They align with it. Same principle here. Chapter 5. The sin of emotional numbness. Most people think sin is about actions. Wrong. It starts with emotion, or the lack of it. You read something powerful and feel nothing. You hear truth and it doesn't move you. That's numbness, and it's dangerous. Because emotion drives memory. Neuroscience proves this. Emotion tags information as important. Without it, your brain discards it. That's why you forget most messages. Not because they're unclear. Because they don't hit you. But here's the problem, though. Modern life dulls emotion. Constant stimulation, endless noise. Your brain adapts. Everything feels average. So even truth feels ordinary. Here's the fix. Slow down exposure. Instead of consuming more, process deeper. Take one idea, sit with it, reflect on consequences. Ask, what happens if I ignore this? Now your brain wakes up, because stakes create emotion, and emotion creates retention. Chapter 6, The Sin of Delay. This one destroys everything. And it sounds harmless. I'll fix it later. I'll change tomorrow. I'll deal with it eventually. No, you won't. Because delay compounds, just like interest, except negative. Behavioral psychology calls this temporal discounting. You undervalue future consequences, so you choose comfort now. But here's the reality. Every delay strengthens the habit. Every postponement makes change harder. But here's the problem, though. People wait for motivation. They think they'll feel ready. That never happens. Action creates readiness, not the other way around. So here's the rule. If something is right, do it immediately. No planning, no overthinking. Immediate execution rewires identity, because identity follows behavior. Always. Now you see it? These aren't loud sins. They don't look dangerous. That's why they win. Quiet pride, passive faith, hidden distraction, selective obedience, emotional numbness, and delay. Most people fight the obvious and lose to the invisible. But here's the truth. Awareness changes everything, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. But here's the final problem, though. Even if you recognize all 6, you'll still fall back into them. Why? Because habits run automatically. That's why knowledge isn't enough. You need a system, a way to catch yourself in real time, interrupt patterns, and rebuild behavior daily. That's exactly why I made the next video, breaking down the exact system to rewire your habits and eliminate these patterns permanently. Watch it next, before your mind goes back to sleep.